Hey everybody, 2 minute warning. I'm always 2 minutes early. So I'm always 2 minutes early. So anyway, how's everybody doing tonight? Uh, Good to see everybody. So first thing you're going to notice on the sides here, I shaved the beard down. I actually left this part long. So Heather put the rubber bands in there. We kind of wanted to see what it would look like. And so we did that because I wanted to. Because when I ride, actually this year, this is what I'm going to do because otherwise it's in my face. So I figure leave it on there and let you guys see what it looks like tonight. So anyway, hope everybody's doing great. And before we get started, obviously got to go over the ground rules every time just to make it so that everybody understands. Very Viking. Yeah, I'm ready for the show. I'm waiting for the call. So. um, So I wanted to just let everybody know we keep it really clean here, keep it decent. No racism is allowed. Anybody that does that, I have my monitors watching, and they will boot you. So please, be respectful of everybody else, and that's really what it's all about. Okay. So that being said, and then when I'm done talking, I just make sure that if you have a question, it's all cap lock, so it kind of stands out for me. Okay. I just wanted to. Let you guys know that. So you'll see this without the rubber bands in it, and it's still very long. It's not, and that part hasn't changed. I just shaved the sides down. They were kind of driving me crazy. So I haven't seen the side of my face in 6 months. So that was pretty wild, right? Okay. So before I get started, I wanted to show you a couple of things that came in the mail, and it's funny because when I talked about the New Zealand flag that I would like to have that, I had a couple different people contact me and said they'd like to send it, and I said sure. I did. Both people sent it to me. So first of all, I wanted to show you. The first one came from John, and I'm going to open this one up here so you guys can see. And the flags, guys, will go up soon. I promise you'll be seeing those flying very, very soon. So let me just open this up here real quick. And here we'll do it this way. And there we are. There's the New Zealand flag, and that's a good size flag. Okay. So there is that. So John sent that. So thank you, John. I appreciate that. And then I had another package come, and this one is from Rebecca. Okay, and let me just pull this out of here. Hold on, guys. I'll show you all this. So she sent a couple different things. First of all, she sent me this keychain, so that's pretty cool. I just thought I would share that with you. And then she sent me a Christchurch sticker here, or I think it's a magnet. And so she sent that. And then she sent me a 2019 calendar from New Zealand, which I thought was pretty cool. And then she also sent me the New Zealand flag. So thank you again to both Rebecca and to John. I appreciate that, guys. That's very, very kind of you. That's very cool. So now I have one to fly right now, and I have a backup one. So that I like that. So I appreciate that. All right. So let's get into talking about the topic real quick here. Actually, one thing before we get into the topic, I wanted to mention really, really quickly the sale that we got going on right now. Legacy's doing a sale where they're doing 25% off of all their bucket promotions. Okay, so if there is a bucket package that they have, and that is available at my website, preppernurse1.com, we have the discount codes at the top. So for the bucket meals, there's 25% off, which is actually a fantastic deal for them. They generally don't do that. They usually will pick up like one thing, but they're doing it on everything. So that's really, really cool. And so we also decided to run a 20% special off of everything else. That's what we did from my website, obviously. So any of the other merchandise, any of the other legacy foods, you can get a 20% discount. So those are both there. So please go check those out if you're interested. Okay. So here, since we're in the beginning too, if you give me a quick thumbs up, I would appreciate it. That does mean a lot as well. So anyway, those sales are going on from now until the 3rd of May on the website. So got that part of it out of the way. So let's talk about this. Is technology going to be our downfall? So let's think about that for a second. If you look at different places, guys, of the world that don't have a whole lot of technology, if we had a EMP, a grid down situation around the rest of the world, they would not really truly be affected that much at all. Their lives would not change dramatically at all. But if you look at what we have here in the United States and think about the younger generation, I mean, when I grew up, we didn't have all the bells and whistles and gadgets. It kind of all came along as I was, growing up and getting older. I mean, it came out, first of all, the beeper came out, and then the cell phones came out after that. And, and then the internet and everything just kind of blew up, and it just went crazy, after that. And so now the electronics and all the gadgets and all the toys and bells and whistles, and you even look at, all the machines that are working in production plants and all those type of things that are saving tons of man hours and those type of things. In the United States, and in the Western world, we can call it the Western world, so Europe, United States, Canada, obviously, it would be truly devastating if we lost that technology, because a lot of people, especially the younger generation, when I always say the younger generation, I mean basically anybody under 30, they've grown up with everything. They've never known a time without all the bells and whistles and gadgets. So it would really be difficult for them to handle that type of a situation. So, yeah, it would be very, very devastating. I think technology will be our downfall, because obviously being able to do an EMP, that's obviously technology. So an EMP would obviously be decimating to us, in the Western society. And so, but again, it's like, it's crazy how everything has changed now. And so if you go back 40 years, it was a whole different ball game. And you think of the processors, think about, I mean, like this, realistically, your very first time making a computer, it took up a whole huge room. And now we have laptops, and it has everything on it and goes a lot faster, and everything like that. So that technology is advancing. Now, here's the scary thing about technology. Let's talk about artificial intelligence. What happens when, and I'm not talking about, the whole John Connor type of situation, but realistically, what happens when the AIs become self-aware? Then who's the real enemy? You know what I mean? If you think about it, they're not going to think, well, human beings are okay. They're going to see us as the true threat. And so, that is, that's kind of scary. So I got one of my coffee mugs here. And I'm actually having tea tonight. Today it was really weird here at the homestead. Weather-wise, it felt like a fall day. We were in the 40s. We actually had snow again this morning. And it's been in the 40s for the most part of the day. We did have some sunshine, but it's really cloudy. Crazy. The weather's freaking crazy, guys. That's another thing too. I mean, I truly believe they do have weather modification that they can do, and they can do different things to the weather. And I think you're seeing a lot of that happening now. Yeah, most people will fight to keep their possessions and can't do without. That's for sure. That is for sure. Eastern Canada they're saying they had massive floodings. Yeah, it's just the way things are going with the weather, and it's crazy. Somebody just said AI will kill you over a joke. Well, there was actually a thing. They had the two AIs, and I don't know if you guys ever remember reading this story. And they started speaking to each other in their own language that they made up, and it scared the people so bad that they shut them down. Because think about that they were able to automatically make up their own language to communicate with each other. That's freaking crazy. So somebody just said the weather is manipulated. I agree with you 100%. I absolutely think it is. I think what happened in the Midwest was done on purpose. We talked a little bit about, control. If you can control the food, if you can control the water, you can control those type of things, you can control the population. So that's... wasn't true AI, though. It was programmed into a machine language. Oh, that was okay. Well, they're definitely getting better and better with the AIs all the time, and they're snowballing, and it's kind of scary. It will be the death of us if we turn it loose. You're right. Absolutely would be. Absolutely would be. When you have something that can become so much smarter than we are, think about where that could lead to. Someone must be drunk at the weather manipulator machine for what's been going on. Yeah, it's been crazy, crazy the weather has. I mean, all over the country. I mean, this late in the year, a lot of storms like we've been getting. I mean, we didn't get any storms here, but we, still getting snow, at the end of April, which is not unheard of for New York, but, it's not normal either. So, we were supposed to today. They were saying that we were going to get between 1 and 3 inches of snow. Luckily, we did not. We got, with the snow, it was snowing for a little while, like a sleety type of thing, but we never, we never got the snow. So not like that anyway. So yesterday we had snow yesterday too, which was crazy. What is AI? Artificial intelligence. That's what AI is. The flood is equivalent to a dust bowl of both the 30s and the equivalent to no food. Yeah, it's the same thing. The flooding that's happened in the Midwest, guys, they're saying that they're not even going to get the spring crops in. I mean, it's spring now. They should be getting ready to put that in there. And, it's they're not going to be able to. They said they might not be able to get in the fall planting. So, I mean, they're saying the flooding can continue on through June, having it affect everything. Hey, Medic RN. Oh, you're very, very welcome. You're very, very welcome. And thank you for the donation. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, the same here. He said the land's too wet to plant. Sophia, yeah, the Sophia is the AI robot that they have now, and that's kind of scary. That's kind of scary, that one. If you look at it, I don't know. It's kind of creepy to me. Really creepy, to be honest with you. It's weird the weather though, how it's going to. We've had some rain. We're supposed to have a lot of rain this week, but it hasn't been too bad yet, as far as that goes. But it's just the way just a weird. When you look at the sky and the way the clouds are, they don't look like normal clouds anymore. And I know it sounds kind of weird, but it's just the whole feel of it is just different. It's off, and so that is definitely bizarre. It's definitely bizarre. Hey, Mountain Girl, how you doing tonight? Thank you very much, and I appreciate that. Thank you. George Jetson's housemate. Yeah. Well, you know what? That's the thing is, it's like a lot of this AI that they're making. They would probably make it for our convenience. I mean, right now, and I'm not trying to be graphic, but they're actually making like sex ones. These AI sex ones, and it's crazy. I mean, and they're going to have them at certain intelligence levels as far as that to be able to do what they want them to do. But again, as things go on with these things, it's like that Sophia, the one that they made, and they gave it like a normal face. It's creepy. That's way, way creepy. All of Maine is watching PN1. Alexa in many homes, exactly. It's just another way. And think about this, guys. I mean, Alexa is giving you information, so you're asking questions, and Alexa gives you information. Alexa can take in information too. Anything that's being said, I mean, your phones, the whole 9 yards. Hold on, I have a cat that has to go out. Hold on, guys. I hear you. Come on. Come on. Can you go out? No, he wants water. Heather, would you give Buddy water, please? Sorry about that, guys. The duties of a professional doorman never ends, but he wants water, not to go out. So he'll like go to the door, scratch at the door, and you go there, and then he goes into the bathroom. So that's kind of. But yeah, we're going back to like Alexa and stuff like that, and even on your phone. I mean, even on your laptops, they can watch you through your camera on your laptop unless you have it disabled. So think about that. I mean, it's just it's scary, the technology that's out there, and there's so many things that are used to spy on the average citizen. I mean, it's been proven. So I'm not like talking out of my wazoo. I'm actually, these are things that are proven that they can do. So, and think about this. Okay, so here's my cell phone. All right, there's your little GPS tracking system right there, guys. And who all has cell phones today? Pretty much everybody. Pretty much everybody. So, what, hon? I didn't hear you. Your phone? Oh, I know you can, but they can still track you through your phone, honey. Hey, Jim Dandy. Another Maine. Huh? Thank you very much, and thank you for the donation. I guess so. That's like 5 people from Maine in here. All right, so now I got to ask everybody, where's everybody from tonight? Let's get all the locations out here. So everybody tell me where you're at. We got Kansas, Maine, Ohio, North Carolina, Jamestown, New York, Wyoming, another Maine, Tennessee. Now they're really jamming up here. Okay, northern Minnesota, Tennessee, Massachusetts, BC and Canada, Long Island, New York, Mobile, Alabama, Raleigh, North Carolina, nice, Canada, Jersey, New Jersey, Virginia. Oh, Rochester. Yeah, that's right. I knew you're from Rochester, Alpha Jack. Syracuse, Northern Ohio, California, England, nice. New Hampshire, Atlanta, Canada, West Virginia, got Connecticut, Indiana, all over. And you know what? Again, and when I talk about that, where we're all from different places, I think that's like the coolest thing ever, because it just shows that we're like a big community, and we can get in here and get online and talk with each other, with like-minded people that are awake, that see what's going on in our society, and that is very, very cool. Yeah, very, very cool. We got Arkansas. That's a good place to be for SHTF. Cherokee Nation. Very, very cool. Utah. Very nice. There's Kentucky. Nice. I like that. Alabama. Fort Payne, Alabama. So it's really, really cool that we can all, like I said, we can get together with like-minded people that when you talk about prepping, or if you talk about living off grid, that they don't think that you're crazy because that's what you want to do. That is really cool. And I think that that's awesome. And it's a great way to connect. So I want to mention real quick, another great way to connect. We have the PN1 community on my website as well, where it's an area where like-minded people can get together from each state, country, all over the place, connect. There's a lot of forums on there where people are, sharing ideas. It's a great place to meet like-minded people from your area. So if you're interested in doing that, just go to my website, preppernurse1.com. Kick on the Preppernurse One community, register. Very private, so and nobody can just come in there and see. Okay, you have to be registered. And so say you're from Texas and you go in, and then you go down to Texas and you register for that, you're in, and then you can talk to other people that are from your same state or from other states or other countries if you're interested in. So, have you seen what they are doing with the Turtle Island Preserve in North Carolina? I have not. What are they doing with that down there? I know that they were giving him a hard time at one point, saying that he had to have building permits because he had everything up on stones and stuff like that. I knew they were doing that to him, but I haven't heard anything recently about that. I heard that the one guy that he had on his show that was one of his buddies, he ended up passing away from cancer. I can't think of the guy's name. All preppers are considered crazy. Drew, you're right, we are, but we're only crazy until something happens, and then we are the smartest person in the room, and that is the reality of it. Did you hear about the big wreck in Denver? I did hear about that. A lot of. I didn't know how many people died, but I know that. I know that there was a huge thing of wood that caught on fire, and a lot of people were killed, and they weren't even sure how many people were killed yet, is last I heard anyway. I'm just started prepping with 2 dehydrators. Want to know what you think you should start with. Okay, so starting with having 2 dehydrators is great. But the biggest thing, if you are just starting out with prepping and you've never done it before, and I've said this and I'll say it over and over, I'll say it as many times as I need to anybody that's new to it. The first thing you want to do is have a 2-week supply of food and water. And why? Why would that be the first thing that you need to do? because 95% of the people in this country do not have a 2-week supply of food and water. So if you have a 2-week supply of food and water, it gives you the advantage over 95% of the people. Yes, son?
Okay, right?
Yeah, here, hold on.
Thanks.
You're welcome. That gives you that advantage. After you have that 2-week supply of food and water, continue to add to your food and water, but then also add your other things that you're going to need as well. That's the way that I would suggest to do it. 200 pounds of beans and rice and 500 gallons of water. That's good. That's a very good start. So, but the thing is, not just beans and rice, guys. Diversify. Canned goods, long-term food storage like your beans and rice, freeze-dried food, good to have as well. Like I said, your staples also have honey. Honey's another great one to have, and those type of things. Yes, he is. Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you what. I raised my children very, very old school, and I was raised by my grandparents. We grew up in their household, and manners were important. And I taught my children the same thing. Like Eddie, if somebody's waiting for, we're going someplace, he will hold the door and wait and let that person go in. So that's how I raised my boys. Like my stepson as well. When Josh was little, he was probably 6 years old at the time. And that's one of the things I was teaching them. You hold the door, especially for the ladies. And so we were someplace, and it was an older lady coming, and Josh held the door, and it was so funny. So he's holding the door, and he gives her the sweeping motion, like, go ahead. And she was like, oh, my God, that is the cutest thing ever. But you know what? It's like, if you have that base and stuff like that, that's going to be a really good thing for, and it's right. Good manners cost nothing. Absolutely. Absolutely, they don't. And the thing is, it's a common courtesy. So why not be courteous to people? There's so many people out there being jerks all the time. Look at all the road rages and everything else, and everybody's mad and pissed off. And a lot of it has to do with the frustration of our society. And I get that. I truly, truly get that. But to take that 2 seconds to be kind to somebody, it doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't cost you anything. So, I'm a big believer in manners and, and respect. It's all about respect. Let's see. Blame it on the internet. No, you know what? Actually, JJ, you know who I blame it on? I blame it on the parents. Absolutely blame it 100% on the parents. Whenever I'm out in public and I see a little kid that's a complete snot and a brat, and you look at him and you go, oh my God, that freaking kid. I never blame the child. Never blame the child, because it comes from the parents. If the parents haven't taught that child respect, then that is on the parents. Because I'll tell you a quick story. We were out when the kids were little, school shopping, and Eddie was showing his butt that day. And I told him, you need to stop or we are leaving. And he didn't stop. So guess what we did? I picked Eddie up and I looked at my wife at the time and I said, we're leaving. So she grabbed Heather and he screamed from the back of the store where we were at all the way out. And I never said a word, and I just held him. We went out, and that was the end of that. Bad behavior will not be tolerated. That's the way I feel as a parent. If other parents want to let their children go crazy and act like lunatics, that is 100% on them. And I didn't like take him out and beat his butt or nothing like that. But he didn't get to finish his shopping that day. And we probably went a couple days later and did it. But guess what happened the second time we went? He was fine. He acted very respectfully. He knew the rules. You got to have rules. They need all kids. I'm going to tell you what, from my own personal experience of being an absolutely horrible, rotten kid, okay, and I did whatever I wanted to do. Nobody could control me. And I'm being honest, okay? Looking back, what I wanted, what all kids want, is stability, rules, in somebody setting boundaries. Kids feel safe when there's boundaries. When there are limitations of what they can do, it makes them feel safe. And here's the best part. And I'm going to give you a great example. I'm going to use Heather. There's a lot of things that Heather's friends have said, oh, we're having this party or that party. And Heather will look at them and go, yeah, my dad will never let me go to that. So it's not on her. It's not that she didn't want to go. She can use me as the excuse of why she can't go. So that's, And that's what it's all about. And I'll take that every day of the week. Blame it always on me. So that's okay. Yeah, kids need to know they're loved. Absolutely. I'm going to tell you what what I say at the end of my videos every time, about hugging and kissing the ones you love and telling them every day, that's from the heart. Because I tell you what, I tell these kids every day. We actually just a little while ago, we had a group hug. I mean, and it was just because, but the thing is, it's like I tell them every single day I love them. Even when I have been told I hate you. Well, if you hate me, then I'm doing my job right. Okay, but you know what? They're my children, and they're awesome. So I mean, and like I said, it's like they're my whole world. They really truly are. Both parents have to work to get by, and and be there and are not there to raise them. You're right. A lot of parents aren't there to raise their children. A lot of them aren't. A lot of them have to work, and so they're depending on somebody else to raise their children. That's tough. Then that's not easy. But it is what it is, unfortunately, and you just have to try to do the best that you can. Cheryl M said, I stayed home with all three kids. Well, when the kids were little, I'll be honest with you, I told my ex-wife, you stay home until they're school age. When they're school age, I asked her to go back to work part-time. While they were in school, she could get a part-time job. Well, that never happened either, but that's besides the point. But the thing was, I thought it was important that she was able to stay home. And so, I worked more than I wanted to, but I did it, you sacrifice. You do what you have to do. I have a guy right now that I know that his wife is in nursing school. She's going to be an RN, and he's a truck driver, and he's a good guy, and he's working hard, and he picked up extra shifts to work on paying her student loans that she had to have, for the college because he didn't want to go into debt. I respect that, and they have two children, and that's tough. That's not easy, guys. That is not easy. But you do what you do in the short run to make things better in the long run. Cheryl M said, I went to college at 50. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'll tell you what, when I went to nursing school, we had somebody in the class when I went to nursing school that was 57 years old. And she was going to nursing school at 57. So I was just like, holy crap, And I thought I was at 29 going back to school at 29. I thought I was old going back to school. So, yeah, it's definitely, it's never too late. I have 1/8 of an acre, and that's enough to provide for. Is that enough to provide for four people? 1,300 square foot of that is my house. You know what? Here's the cool thing about like providing for your family as far as like growing crops and having animals and stuff like that. Chickens and stuff like that are not going to take up a huge amount of space depending on what kind of, like I have my chicken mansion is huge, but that's because I wanted to do it that way. But you don't always have to have a huge space for your chickens. Also, growing vertically as opposed to growing out. If you can get it so where things grow up or hang down, even, you know what I mean, reverse it. That is definitely a way to do it as well. So, that's definitely an option. So you can grow a lot in a smaller area. It's just depending on how you grow. They have those things there that you can put in that grow like this, and it has like levels. You can grow those things up like that too. And again, that doesn't take up a whole lot of room, but you can grow a lot of produce that way. Did California have a shooting today? I know that they had one of the synagogues was attacked. I know that. I don't know if that was today or not. I know that there was. I know there was an attack on a synagogue the other day, and but getting ready to start my garden in 3 weeks. Money saved. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. It was yesterday, Robert just said. Yeah, I knew there was that shooting out there at the synagogue. People are crazy, guys. I mean, we live in a society of absolutely deranged. Not everybody, obviously, but there's a lot of deranged, mentally disturbed people out there. So, shooting today in Maryland, 7 shot. It's, and I think a lot of that is being allowed to happen, guys. What's on all the shootings these days, media or culture? Combination of both. I think the reason you're seeing so many shootings today is a combination of the media puts it out there and they sensationalize it. So people want that glory, if you will. They want their 15 minutes of fame. So that's one of the reasons why they want to be out there. It's just like the New Zealand shooter. His face was plastered all over everything. Okay. So, you're giving these people what they want. You're giving them that credit. And so, you know, that's part of it. Part of it is our society as a whole today, where there's no value on human life, there's no respect. There's so many people growing up frustrated and angry. They're angry with, you know, they're angry with society. They're angry because they felt that, something wasn't, life didn't go the way they had planned it or whatever. There's a lot of reasons that people are angry, and so unfortunately, it's it's just that's a product of that, and a lot of mental instability, and I think a lot of that comes from all these medications that they're giving. One of the things with the side effect of an antidepressant, some of them, is suicidal thoughts. What the heck is that? Ambien. People are walking in their sleep and doing things in their sleep and not even remember doing any of it when they're taking, so there's all these side effects for these medications. And I think a lot of these medications are screwing with people's minds, to be honest with you. And I think that's a big part of it. So very, very scary stuff, guys. Real scary stuff. What is a good natural remedy for insomnia? There's definitely herbal teas and different things that you can take that's going to help you, feel more tired, help you be more relaxed. I'll tell you what, a great thing that you can do if you really want to before you go to bed, meditate. Meditate, you get de-stress. You can get rid of that negative energy. You let it go, clear your mind. It helps you to relax more. Yoga is another great thing. I mean, you may think that that's crazy, but yoga is a great de-stressor. So, doing that type of thing, something that's going to be relaxing, listen to soothing music, those type of things, just something to completely de-stress, not think about all the craziness that's going on around us on a daily basis. I don't think people really realize how much we take in on a daily basis with all the craziness that's going on in the world. I mean, like I gave up TV, guys, when we moved up here almost 4 years ago. I don't even own a television anymore. I was so sick of watching, I called it the death news. Every time you turn the TV on, they don't talk about positive stuff. They don't talk about good stuff. They only talk about the negative. You know, this person hates that person. This person killed this person. This person set a fire because they're angry with whatever. Just craziness. And it's happening more and more and more. And a lot of it is frustration that people are dealing with. They feel like they're being stepped on, and a lot of them are, okay? And it continues on and on and on, and then they get to a point where, they can't take it anymore, and they snap. And again, I think it's a combination of a lot of things. I think a lot of it's being allowed to happen. There's definitely an agenda out there to disarm Americans. You will never control the United States. I'm going to put this out there. I'm going to say it just like it is. You will never, any foreign power, anybody will never control the United States until they disarm us. If they can disarm us, then they have a chance of taking us over. But until that point, never going to happen. I'm telling you right now, they could drop an EMP on us and all that type of stuff. You're right, that can happen, and then they can invade. And there's enough people in this country that are ready to rock and roll that we will take care of business. And that's the reality of it. And they know that, you know. But, it's just, there's so, is it possibly by force? You know what? I think that if they tried to disarm us even by force, I think you would have an uprising in this country that would be like nothing ever before. People are, here's, they're, okay, so here we are, and this is the best scenario I can describe this to you guys, and so you can understand. Everybody heard the straw that broke the camel's back. You keep piling crap on, and people keep taking it. They keep taking it, they keep taking it, they keep taking it. At some point, there will be a breaking point. There will absolutely be a breaking point. And when that happens, you are going to see all bets are off at that point. And I really believe that is going to happen. I think we are close to that breaking point. I really do. You know, it's it's definitely, is excuse me, we're getting there. And I see it. I see that daily frustration when I go out and I look at people. And for the most part, people aren't happy. They're not joyous. They're not enjoying life. They're just miserable, and they're just like locked in, and they got that look on their face. And people don't laugh and they don't joke, and everything is so serious. And I think there's so many people that are so frustrated, not just with their own lives, but what's going on around them, and feeling like they can't get out from under. It's very, very frustrating. And it's and I think it's just a matter of time. I just think that it's a matter of time. There will be an event that happens that will be a trigger point. There will be some catalyst of, you know, one law too many, where people go, nope, I've had it. I mean, you look what's going on in France still right now. They're still protesting every weekend over there. Now, it's not as many as it was before, but, people are tired. They're tired of it, okay? And so when people are tired of stuff, that's when people will riot. That's when you're going to, and there's going to be people that are going to do it just to take advantage and try to steal. Don't get me wrong. But I think that if enough people get to that point and reach that frustration level, it's, so to the point in Canada, right? Exactly. You guys got Trudeau up there, and I feel sorry for you guys because, he's definitely not for Canadians. I can tell you that he's definitely not for Canadians, and it's sad because he should be. You know, I work security at a trauma center ER. You wouldn't believe how much never makes the news. You're right, exactly. A lot of stuff doesn't make the news, and it's just that daily basis of stuff going on. I mean, I remember when I talked to several ER nurses before, and I said to them, I said I could never do ER, and they're like, well, why not? And I said, I don't want to deal with the scumbags. I mean, and that's terrible. Sadly, in nursing, if you've been in nursing for any length of time, and when I say any length of time, it could be as little as 3 to 5 years. Let's just say put that number on it. You become very jaded. You just see so much, and you deal with so much. You become desensitized to things, which is sad. You still have your humanity. You still care, but a lot of stuff it's very. You have to shut it off. You got to be able to shut it off, and so. But you look at like I said, what's going out on the Midwest right now with they're still having issues. Obviously, that hasn't changed. So think about all those farms out there that the farmers have lost everything. They can't rebuild. And they've given up. I think it said 25% of them won't even bother trying to rebuild. So there's 25% of farmers that help supply us with what we need that have just said, forget it, I've had enough, and they're going to walk away. That's tough. That is very, very hard, But that happens, guys. That happens all the time. So, it's unreal. More big farm corporate farms. Yeah, you're right. And they will. The big corporate farms will definitely jump on that, and they will take those over, You become numb. Great. Yep, absolutely, Joe. You are 100% correct. You become numb. And I think that's what's happening to a lot of people is they just, like I said, I'll go out, and I love to watch people. I'll be honest with you. I absolutely love watching people. And I see a lot of people that are just blank. They're just blank. There's no joy. There's no sorrow. There's no nothing. They're just blank. And it's sad, So think about this, okay? And I'm going to go back to the one guy. There was a shooting that happened. The guy had worked at this building for 15 years, and he had gotten fired. And so think about if you've been at a company for 15 years. We're going to use that as an example, okay? You got kids. You got responsibilities. You might be divorced, paying child support. You got all these bills. You got to pay for this, that, and the other thing. And they fire you. Now, you don't have that income coming in anymore. That's got to be very, very frustrating. And so that individual, what he decided to do was go back to his workplace, and he killed a bunch of people. And that's not the answer. But I understand that frustration because he's thinking, what else do I have to lose? And it's sad that people can get to that point where they feel that they have nothing to live for. There's nothing else to to do to make things better, to make life better. And it's a very, very sad situation. Really, really is. And let's see, food, gas, water prices are slowly going up. You are right, Jason. They absolutely are. Gas here now has gone up to 2.85 a gallon, and it's just slowly creeping up. So and a lot of people, they don't really pay attention to that, or maybe they do. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I don't have any flour grinding mills yet. I don't have that. No. Yeah, the news didn't even. Yeah, exactly. The news didn't even mention the whole thing at Fort Bragg. Never even brought it up. So how crazy is that? You know. So again, there is an agenda that they want you to see, and then there's things that they don't want you to see. And so, well, just don't pay attention to this that's happening. But that's the reality of it. Oh, somebody, let's see. Yeah, it's not their narrative exactly. So they don't want certain things to get out. They don't want people to be aware. They don't want people to be concerned about the things that they really should be concerned about. They want you to be, what they want you to be concerned about, guys? I mean, let's be honest. Let's talk about something serious. What should we be concerned about? What dress are the Kardashians going to wear next? I think that's really important. Or what kind of shoes are they going to have in their handbag? And what's going on in their lives? Because that's so much more important than anything else. Now, I'm being actually very sarcastic when I say that, but that's what they want. They want you to be distracted looking at other things and not focusing on what you really need to be focusing on. And it's crazy, but that's the way it is. Hollywood needs to go away. Yeah, well, unfortunately, that's never going to happen. And it's funny because if somebody doesn't fit that Hollywood agenda or play ball, if you will, they get blackballed. They absolutely get blackballed. So, and it happens a lot. Yeah, they want you concerned with video games. Exactly. When's the latest, greatest video game coming out? And I'll go wait in line for 4 hours to get that video game, or the newest, greatest pair of sneakers that's ever been invented that are going to cost you $175 or $200 a piece. Who needs a pair of sneakers for $200? I wouldn't pay for that. But because of the brainwashing and in the media, if you want to be cool and if you got
the sneakers, what I get them for like 30 money, you could just get them for like $3 at the Goodwill.
Right, exactly. Get it at the Goodwill for like $3, exactly. Or $10 at Walmart, exactly. I mean, you can get stuff really, really cheaply, but the thing is, they have been programmed because of watching TV and what's going on with TV that in order to be cool, that's what you have to have. Hey, Rennie, thank you, and thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. But that's where their mindset is at. People look at this, they see this on TV, and well, I'll be cool if I have this pair of jeans on, or if I have this shirt, or this pair of sneakers, or this jacket.
That's just consumerism for you, and it's a cancer that's killing our country and our planet.
That's right, Eddie. That's right. Somebody's saying hi to you, Eddie. Jenna's just saying hi.
Howdy.
Give him a wave. All right. You spend too much money on beard rubber bands. I didn't spend any. Heather had them, so it didn't cost me nothing.
So I see you're going out for the third-party middleman when it comes to the beard rubber bands.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Look at everybody saying hi to you, Eddie.
Okay.
Okay. Did you already drink all that Gatorade already?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got the Fu Manchu look today. Yes, I do. Yep. Absolutely. I'd rather be able to buy the cheap. So if you gave me $200 instead of go out and buy a pair of shoes, you know how many shoes I could buy with $200? I'd buy a whole bunch of shoes, and I'll have shoes probably for the rest of my life because I sit there and I wear the same thing for a long, long time.
And you could give those shoes to people in need.
Well, there you go, Eddie. Good point. Give people in need some shoes.
I mean, because we're pretty much basically stuck in a selfish system that really doesn't care about anybody else unless we have to make a change for the better.
Well, there a lot of people are trying, Bubba. A lot of people are trying.
Like me, for example.
Yeah. Eddie actually he can grow. JJ he's got a lot of facial hair and he just shaves all the time.
Because I don't like how
it looks,
and it feels. Plus, it does really sit out in an uncomfortable level for me, especially like mentally, because like it's. Of course, your mileage may vary, but I think facial hair is disgusting.
It's okay. You have your opinion. He doesn't like facial hair. My son cried because I said I was going to buy him Walmart shoes because he lost his Jordans. Yeah, and that's unfortunately the mentality today, guys. A lot of people, that's the whole thing. These kids are told that they got to have this, they got to have that, and I'm going to tell you what. I mean, I was always a rebel, always, and so like when everybody else had Nikes in school, I wore boots. I wouldn't own a pair of Nikes because I didn't want to be like everybody else, and so. I was always different. I was jeans, t-shirt, had long hair back then when I had hair. So, but that's, that's how we did it. I mean, it's like I never conformed. I just never. Yeah, it's almost hog time. Well, it has been a little bit. We got out a little bit, but the weather here lately with the snow is not been favorable. So we're having to kind of wait. But we were thinking about this afternoon, but it was only like 46 degrees, so that would have been a little chilly. But we'll get out there. We'll definitely get out there and ride. So I want to mention again real quick because some probably people have rotated in and out. So I wanted to let people know on my website right now we are having a sale. Legacy is doing a thing. All their bucket meals are 25% off. And so any kind of bucket meal, if you go to my website, preppreneurs1.com, all those meals are 25% off. And what we've also done at the website is we've done 20% off of everything else, all our merchandise, t-shirts, coffee mugs. So if you wanted to get your Shizzle Hits the Fan coffee mug, you can get that there. Any other Legacy products are also 20% off. We're doing that on our own on that part of it. So if you are interested, please check us out, preppreneurs1.com, and you can do some savings there. And coming soon, I want to mention this too. It doesn't have it set up yet, but Mike from the Watchman News. So if you want to get over there and check out the Watchman News channel, check his channel out as well. He is going to be selling Kratom. He doesn't have it all completely set up yet, okay? But he is definitely going to be getting that set up. And when he does, I will let you guys know. So anybody that's interested in Kratom, I have not tried it myself, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. So definitely when he gets that all set up, I will let you guys know. But the Watchman News, go check out his channel as well. He does news every single day. So he's always doing a show every day about news. So if you're interested, please go over there and check him out. Kratom is, it's a painkiller that is not addictive, and it's all natural. And a lot of people are getting off of, they're using it to get off of heroin and Suboxone and all those type of things. See, what they'll do is you're on heroin if you're a heroin addict, then they put you on Suboxone, which makes you addicted to Suboxone, which gives you the effect of heroin, but not, all the bad stuff with it. But, it's still, now you're addicted to that, and the pharmaceutical company still owns you forever because now you have to take that. But the Kratom, people are using that as a breakaway to get off of these addictive medications and, painkillers and all those type of things. So that's, it's an all purpose and it's safe. Exactly. Absolutely. As for, there was been talk that people have been linked to dying from Kratom, but I think it showed that 80+% of the people that died also had other drugs in their system. So let's not talk about the heroin or the fentanyl and those type of things. Hey, 454 Tiger, thank you very much. Thank you for the donation. And you're very welcome. I love being on here with you guys and talking with you guys. I really, truly enjoy it. I really, truly do. Somebody just said my Goodwill are expensive. Now you got to remember what Goodwill is about, guys. Goodwill is not a charity. Not a charity. Salvation Army is a charity to a degree, But the Salvation Army is a religious organization. I'm not sure if people knew that or not, but they will help you, but they will slam the Bible down your throat in the process of doing it. So, again, we go to the Salvation Army a lot to do shopping for thrifting. They have some great deals there, and so you can get a lot of stuff. I mean, Heather does most of her shopping for clothes and stuff at the Goodwill. She would rather go there. So that's she was like, why spend all that money on this other stuff? And it's funny too because she's had garage sales too. Absolutely, they're great. Absolutely, they're awesome. But she's had these trendy girls at school come up to her and go, "Oh my God, Heather, I love that outfit. Where did you get it?" And Heather is Heather, and she goes, "I got it from the Salvation Army." And then they're like, "Oh." It is funny. It is funny. And so that but the thing is, it's like they don't realize that instead of paying $40 for this shirt or that, and she can go and get it for $5, and it's just going to be just the same thing. It's going to be just as good. Yeah, Goodwill is, people give away stuff to Goodwill thinking that they're giving to a charity. It is not. It is a business. The guy that owns it is making a bank on Goodwill, making a bank. Is Greedwill. Yeah, that's exactly. It's a very catchy name and it sounds great. And you're thinking you're doing, to a charity, but not 1 cent of that goes to a charity. Not at all. If the Dollar General bought a nice sweatshirt for $1, wow, would it cost more? Yeah, I mean, if you guys can get out there and you can find the deals, I mean, you go to garage sales, lots of stuff available, especially if you have small children. All the time, garage sales, you can get all kinds of stuff at garage sales for small kids. And guess what? Your kids don't care when they're little where those clothes are, as long as they keep them warm and keep them safe. So that is definitely, something that you want to think about. Doesn't always have to be trendy. And I never really never much cared about what, other people thought. I never did. No. As long as my kids are safe, happy, healthy, warm, and doing well, what other people think doesn't make any difference. Volunteers of America here in Michigan has great prices on clothing. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, there's definitely places, that are good to get stuff at. If you see a charity that you like, here's the biggest thing I would say. If you're looking at a charity and you're looking to donate to a charity, like, well, let's go with the March of Dimes. It's a great name, March of Dimes. You know why? Because 10 cents of every dollar that you give them actually goes towards the cause. 10 cents out of that. 90 cents goes for administrative costs, which a lot of that is going to go to the CEO who's making bank. Look it up. You'll see, guys. A lot of these charities, not a lot of your money goes to help out the actual charity. There are definitely ones that do, and you can look at those. I mean, and you can do the research yourself on that. But I believe in helping people if we can. I really truly do. When we lived in Greece a lot, if I saw somebody, and I'll tell you, this is how I do it. You just see homeless guys, and they would be, the bummy looking individuals, and we would be at the mall or whatever, and I would see them, and I would say to them, I'd say, hey, listen, are you hungry? If you're hungry, I'll buy you a meal. And, sometimes they would say yes, and sometimes they would say no. I'll never give them a dime of cash, never. But if you're hungry, I will buy you a meal in a heartbeat. I don't care. Not a problem. No questions asked. Here's your meal. Enjoy your meal. Have a good day. That's it. You know what I mean? And that's just doing the right thing. That's what that comes down to. But giving money, giving cash to beggars and those type of things, that's not helping them. What you're doing is fueling their addiction to either drugs or alcohol or those type of things. But again, if you can help those people out and you can do it, the best way you can help somebody out, if you know somebody in your neighborhood, and we all know people that are in need, we all do, okay? If you know somebody that's in need, do it anonymously. Go to their door, leave a food basket on their door, or whatever. Something that's going to help them out, something that's going to help their children out. If you know that their kids are maybe going out, you don't want to embarrass people. That's the last thing you want to try to do. And a lot of people are really, really proud. So if you can do something anonymously, that food basket and leave it on that porch or whatever, or something like that. That's a great way of helping people out, and doing it so nobody knows who you are. They don't know who you are, and it's a good thing to do. And to me, that's the way you want to try to do things if you can. Many people will turn off offers for help out of pride. You are absolutely right, Kansas Prepper Mommy. You are absolutely right. Out of pride, they'll say no. But if you do something so that they don't know it was you and it's just there and that helps them, then that's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, some beggars are a group, and at the end of the day, they get together and count the money. You're right. There's some beggars that are not even homeless. That are There was a video they showed this lady that was begging on the streets, a little thin, tiny lady, and you thought, oh my God, this poor lady. And these guys were videotaping her, and she would leave there and go to her car and hop in her car and take off and head home. So she was scamming people. So again, you want to help somebody out. Giving them money does not help them out. If somebody's in need, socks, clean underwear. Think about this. If you're homeless, and there was just a video, a guy over in the UK, I can't think of, Ed Stafford. Ed Stafford does a thing. If you type him up into YouTube and you'll see it. He did a 60 days homeless to try to find out what was going on with the homeless people. Socks are huge, clean underwear. He wore the same pair of underwear for 60 days. Think about that. That's kind of nasty. But, people, you can help people. You can give people hope. That's I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at. But giving them money does not help them. Does not help them at all. Yeah, Ed Stafford. Yep. Oh, I didn't shave the whole thing. No, I just You'll see the goatee still all there, and the whole length is still there. I just put it in a braid for today, just because this is, like I said, guys. This is when I ride. This is how it's going to be, because otherwise it blows up in my face, and that's no fun. But I just say I back down to the goatee. So yeah. Yep. Yeah. Great. Yep. My wife always wants to give the guy with the sign money. I give him a bag of Burger King. There you go. That's the best thing you can do. Give them Gatorade. Give them stuff like that. Don't give them alcohol. Don't give them money because they can go buy alcohol or drugs. If they're so desperate and they want help, then they should be grateful for food or something to drink. How far was my longest Harley ride? Oh my God, I don't even know, to be honest with you. I have no idea. Because a lot of times Heather and I just get on the bike and we just ride. That's what we do. I mean, it's just for fun. It's no destination. Like, she'll be like, "Where are we going?" I go, "Who cares?" Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Was it in Vegas? No, it wasn't then. No, I've gone longer than when I rode in Vegas. Have I ridden over any big bridges? Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's cool to see. Only thing bad about that, if the wind's blowing. That's the only thing bad about that. The public gullibility started with bottled water. Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, it's a small rural town and the Walmart on the weekends. Oh yeah, because everybody's going to Walmart. Yep, you are right. But like I said, you know what? If you offer that person is begging and they're homeless and they need help and yada yada yada, tell them. Say, listen, if you need help, I'll buy you a meal. If they turn that meal down, then they're not as desperate as they make out to be. They absolutely are not as desperate as they make out to be. Yeah, right. There are YouTube videos of people living in Walmart parking lots. You know what? There's a lot of people that do camping. With the campers, and they go around and they stay on all kinds of different places, and that's how they do it. That's how they get around the system, which I don't blame. A lot of retired people do that. A lot of retired people do that, and there's a whole society of them that they do nothing but travel, which I think is really, really cool. They are trying to make a living in their vehicle illegal. Oh, are they really? Wow. I didn't know they were trying to. Yeah, because it's like they don't like people. Yeah, boondocking. That's exactly it. Yep, you're right. Boondocking. Um, yeah, it's crazy that it's like, again, more and more control. You know why? Because people are stepping away from the norm. They're not doing the normal things that everybody else does anymore, and they don't like that. They don't like it. They don't want you to do that. They want you to conform and be a good citizen, pay your taxes until you die, and then on to the next one. And then it was, once you get there at retirement age, die as quickly as possible for their convenience. It's sad. It really is sad. But some are homeless, got no choice. So you're right. Some don't. Some absolutely don't. But so you do what you have to do. I know there's a lot of people that have to live out of their vehicles for necessity, but there's also a lot of people that have decided to unplug, if you will, from society, and that's why they do what they do. And I don't blame them at all. I mean, if you can have a decent life doing that, then that's awesome. I am not going to have a motorized solar tracker for the panels, and I'll tell you why. I'm basically going to have my panels where they can be adjusted up or down, but I'm not going to go with a tracker. Too many moving parts. You really don't make that much of a difference, and a lot more susceptible to breakdowns. So that's why I'm going to go with a system that I can adjust up and down depending on the season or time of year to get the optimal light from the panels. So that's the way I'm going to do it with my system. 100% RVer, and the government wants to end it. Yeah, they don't like it. They absolutely don't like it. But what can they do about it? To be realistically, do I like Randy Sentinel? I don't even know who that is, to be honest with you, Paul. I have no idea who that is. No clue. I've had hard times, but it made me work even harder to get my head above water. Yeah, but you know what? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And working hard and getting ahead and focusing on that type of stuff is good. But you got to look at the end picture. Where do you want to be? What do you want to do? What is the end goal? And is it just to keep your head above water? That gets frustrating after a while. It really does. Because I've been there. I've been there where I was just keeping my head above water. And, so I decided to downsize, go smaller, not have as many expenses. And, you know what? And it was an awesome decision. I don't regret it at all. I don't regret it at all. Let's see. Well, guys, it is that time. So we're going to go ahead and end this for tonight. I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you for coming and joining us in the chat this evening. Again, if you guys could hit that thumbs up before we jump out of here, I would appreciate it. And that would be nice. And remember, guys, we are all in this together. That's important to remember. Life is so short. And so, we got to just stay focused. That's important to remember too, okay? Remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So to tell them every day how you feel is so, so important. And remember, guys, STD, it's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to do, you can do it. The only one that's ever going to stop you from getting there is yourself. So you can go as far as you want to, or blame it on anybody else you want to and go nowhere. It's all up to you. You're the captain of your own destiny. And that's a really cool thing to know, to realize that it's totally up to you. Stay away from the negativity, stay away from negative people, and you'll be fine. Have a great night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.